Good day, everyone. My name is Olorigin Fredmark Esmeno, together with my co-members, Miss Tricia, Mr. Ibrahim, Miss Shirley, and Miss Yesen. We are the group number 4 of the assessment, and we are gonna discuss the selecting and constructing test items and tasks. Now, before diving in, let us have our pick to guess. Everyone, pick to guess is you're just gonna guess the pictures, no? And you will try to merge the words and make the answers no, relate to our topic. Okay, let's go. This is pick to guess number one. Now take your time. Four, three, two, one. Time's up. The answer is soup and then fly plus type, which is supply type. The next one, this is pick to guess number two. Now try your best to guess the word. The answer is select, ion, and type is selection type. For our last pick to guess, kindly think critically and answer our pick to guess. The answer is peer, for, months, type. That is that is performance type. Now, based on those pick to guess, we will now move forward for our objectives. At the end of this lesson, learners will be able to analyze different types of test items, including supply, selection, and performance types. Value the importance of ethical and fair assessment practices by reflecting on the impact of well-constructed test items and demonstrate the skill to construct effective test items. And this is gonna be our main objectives for this topic. Now for our topic outlines, we have three main branches of topic. First one is the supply type. Under this category, we have completion, short answer, essay, and essay extended. And you will later on find out what are the differences of this category to the other one. Next,
When teachers give tests, they don't just use one kind of question. There are different ways to check how well students understand a lesson. These are called categories of test types. There are three main categories are selection type, and the performance type. In a supply type test, students have to give their own answers. Meanwhile, in the selection type test, students simply choose the correct answer from the given choices. Meanwhile, in the performance type test, students show what they can actually do. These different tests help teachers see what students know and what they can do in different ways. Good morning, everyone. My name is Trisha Mihilawan, and together with my groupmates, we're going to discuss the categories of test types. In a supply type of test, students need to provide their own answers instead of choosing from the given options. These kind of tests help teachers see how well students can recall information, explain ideas, or even express their understanding from their own words. The completion type test is one form of supply type where a statement or question is given with a missing word, number, or phrase. Students must fill in the blank to complete the idea. In completion type test, the question or statement is not complete. Students need to fill in the blank with the correct answer. Parts of completion item are stimulus and second, the response. The stimulus is the incomplete statement with a blank. It represents the idea or question that students need to complete, while the response This is what the students need to provide to complete the statement. The answer is usually a word, number, symbol, or short phrase. Here is an example of a completion type of test. A four-sided polygon is called. The expected response from the students is quadrilateral, and the stimulus there is the a four-sided polygon is called blank, and the response is quadrilateral. Another example is that novel No Limit Tangere was written by Dr. Rizal during the blank period. Expected response from the students is Spanish. And then guidelines in construction of I, completion items there are three. First, there should be only there should only be one correct response to complete the statement. This means that the question should be written clearly so that only one answer fits correctly. Second, the blank be placed at the end or towards the end of the incomplete statement. Putting the blank near the end helps students understand the question better before they think of an answer. If the blank is in the beginning or middle, it can make the sentence confusing. And the last one is avoid providing unintended clues to the correct answer. Don't give hints in the statement that can make the answer too obvious. For example, the length of the blank, the grammar structure, or nearby words might help the students guess even without knowing the lesson. Another type of supply type of test is the short answer type. This requires students to give direct and brief answer to a question. It is used to assess both declarative knowledge, facts and information, and procedural knowledge, the processes or steps in doing something. This type of test encourage students to think and recall answers from memory rather than recognizing them from a list. In short item structure, there are two: stimulus and response. Stimulus, an interrogative statement or direct question that asks for a specific answer, while the response is the student provides a short phrase, word, or statement as the answer. Here are some examples. What is a four-sided polygon called? Expected response from the students is quadrilateral. Another one. During what period was Nolitang Here written by Dr. Jose Rizal? Expected response from the students is Spanish. Here are the guidelines in creating a short answer items or a completion type items. First, appropriate for assessing learning outcomes involve knowledge and simple understanding. These tests are best for measuring how well students remember basic facts. They check if learners truly understand the lesson in a simple and direct way, such as recalling definition terms or short explanation. Number two, capable of assessing both declarative and procedural knowledge. Declarative knowledge refers to knowing what, facts or information, while procedural refers to knowing or the how, steps or methods. Both completion and short test items can test this, for example, identifying a concept or explaining a process. Third, both are easy and simple to construct. Teachers can easily make these types tests because they don't require complicated directions or long options. A well written sentence or direct question is often enough to create an item. And number four, both are objectively scored since a key to correction can be prepared in advance. Scoring is fair and consistent because there is only one correct answer for each question. Teachers can prepare an answer key ahead of time to make checking faster and more accurate. And the last one, both need an sample of number of items to assess a learning outcome. Since each question usually measures just one small piece of knowledge, teachers need to include several items to fully test students' understanding of a topic. More items give a clearer picture of what students really know. And that ends my topic. Now, teacher Gretel will discuss the essay type.
Good evening, everyone. I am Gretel Fernando, and I will be discussing the essay type. Essay type belongs to supply category because it requires responses to be fully constructed by the students. This format is appropriate for testing deep understanding and reasoning. There are two variations of essay items. First is the restricted response type, and second is the extended response type. Restricted response type: it is a type of essay that the questions or directive given suggests a specification in constructing the response. It has limited coverage of content, specified length of response, and expected form of response. For example is that your teacher asks you to write an essay about the political issues that is happening in our country lately. And it is specified there that you are going to write your essay in an RM form, and the word should not exceed 500 words. And that is an example of restricted response type of essay because it is the length of response is specified, and there is the expected form of response, which is the RM. And the second type of essay type of item is the extended response type. It is where the questions or directive does not suggest any form of restriction in the construction of the responses. Students are free to organize and expound on their ideas freely. Unlike sa restricted response type of essay, nga dito naka-specify dapat ang form of form na imong gamiton, and also the exceeding time or words nga kabutan dito of 5, wherein dili dapat siya mulapas of 500 words. In this type of essay naman is you are free to construct your essay without following any type of form, just like the RM form, and you are not given the words that should be exceeded or not exceed, like the 500 words, dapat dili siya mulapas sa 500. There are no such thing as that in this type of essay. You are free to organize your thoughts, your answer, without focusing on the format or form of your answer. And for the suggestions for constructing essay questions, which is which is from the study of Miller, Lin, and Granlund, 2009. First is restrict the use of essay questions to those learning outcomes that cannot be measured satisfactorily by objective items. So example, Ana, if your learning outcomes require students to gain deep understanding of that certain topic, syempre you wouldn't use any objective items. Hence, you will use this essay type of test to construct questions that will measure their deep understanding to be able to achieve your learning outcome. The second one is to construct questions that will call forth the skills specified in the learning standards. So in this part, you are going to construct questions that will really call forth the skills of your students in that specific learning standard. And for example, if the learning standard requires student to gain deep understanding or analyze each documents, for example, you are going to construct that specific questions that will really show the skills of your student. And the third one is phrase the question so that the student's task is clearly defined. For example, Annie, is if you want them to give their opinion about that certain topic, you are going to put in the question that you need them or you want them to put their own understanding and not just any form of asking or putting questions without direction or instruction. And the fourth one is to indicate an approximate time limit for each question. Example of this is you are going to again ask or question your students to write an essay about political or politics that is currently happening in our country. And by then you are going to put there that it should be done or it should be done in 1 hour or 30 minutes like that. You are going to put or indicate a specific time limit for them to complete the essay. And the last one is to avoid the use of optional questions. And then the how to improve the reliability of scoring response, that is also from the study of Miller, Lin, and Garnland 2009. First is to prepare an outline of the expected answer in advance. This means that you are going to construct your expected answer or the outline. You are going to make an outline for that questions that you've given them for them to answer. You are by then pa lang you are going to make what you expect nga iibutang nila sa ilahang essay. Yes. And the second one is to use the scoring rubrics that is most appropriate. So if one thing that you must do is always give a scoring rubrics for this type of test. You are going to base your grading for that. You're going to base your grading ana nga test in the scoring rubrics. The third one is to decide how to handle factors that are irrelevant to the learning outcomes being measured. And the fourth one is to evaluate all responses to one questions before going on the next one. And the fifth one is to, if it's possible, evaluate the answer without looking at the student's name. It is to be not biased because sometimes there are still other teachers who is basing their grading to that student. So it is more safe or more appropriate and biased to say if you are going to fold and not show their names when you are going for checking. And the last one is if especially important decisions are to be based on the results obtained two or more independent ratings. And we should always remember that this type, which is the essay type of test, are useful for assessing complex understanding or higher order or higher level of thinking.
Good morning once again, everyone. My name is Alvin Fred Martin Semeno, and I am going to report the alternative form or the binary choice. It is under the selection type, and this is actually very we are very familiar with it because it is famous in since early elementary up until now college days. We use the alternate form or the binary choice. First, here the table shows there are varieties, stimulus, and then the samples or suggested response format. The number one variety is the true or false. Its stimulus is the statement or proposition, which suggests that the questions goes like this. The planets of the solar system revolve around the sun, which means it is answerable by true or false, whether the sentence is true or the sentence is false. Number two is the yes or no, which means the stimulus is direct question. The suggested questioning for this one is, do the planets of the solar system revolve around the sun? It is answerable by yes or no. These questions are mainly answerable by yes or no mostly because it is a direct question. It is generated for directly response, no? Yes or no only. Now the third variety is the right or wrong, whether it is a computation, equation, or statement. No, it will emphasize more likely on critical thinking and analyzation of the question. For example, factors of 18 are 2, 3, 6, and 9. No? And then you answer it whether it is right or wrong based on the given questions. No? You analyze it and then you think critical about it. The last one, I mean the number fourth variety is the correction. It is the proposition which will be corrected if incorrect. Now we are very familiar with the modified true or false. No, somehow it is similar lang. You need to replace what is wrong in the situation or the given question. For example, the biggest planet in the solar system is the Earth. Now we know that Earth is not the biggest planet in the solar system. It is Jupiter. So the answer will be false, and then you replace Earth with Jupiter. Now the next one is number five variety of the binary choice is the true or false. Now this is more similar to the modified true or false. For example, its stimulus is a multiple choice stem is given with statements to be judged as true or false. Now this is more likely a continuous true or false. No, for example, here at the suggested response is that it talks about the first question. Ebola virus is emitted through transmitted because it is airborne. Now you answer it with true or false. Now the next question is it is transmitted through body. Somehow it is related and it is a continuous questions, no? And lastly, both children and adults can be affected. Now, what can be developed through this? It can develop more knowledge and continuous, no, knowledge about a certain topic. For example, it talks about virus. So it talks about a lot of facts due to the true or false. And the sixth one is the yes or no with explanation. It is the direct questions that requires explanation for negative response. This is mainly for essay. We tend to answer this one essay type. Do you agree with this and this? Yes or no, and why? No. Teachers always ask that for explanation why you choose to disagree or you agree. No? And mainly, it is because not for objective answers, but more likely for subjective ones. No? Like, there are no correct answers, but rather they are trying to find your explanation, your stand about a certain something, and that is the yes or no with explanation. Here we have the multiple choice. Multiple choice is the wide choice of these formats in a classroom testing is mainly due to its versatility to assess various levels of understanding. We are very familiar with it since elementary up until now we are using this multiple choice. Now, multiple choice is a wide, broad assessing format in classroom testing. Why? Because mainly it gives us many choices. Four choices, three to five plausible choices, and we must pick the best and correct answer for that question. Now, where can we find this? Why it is very impactful? Because it can assess different levels of understanding. For example, our SWAS examination here in the dorso, no? It assesses our understanding, logical, grammar, and everything else because more on logics. And through that, patterns, even patterns can be judged, no? The understanding of patterns. It also assesses students whether students can use reasoning in performing problem solving, decision making, or other reasoning tasks. That's why there are parts that multiple choices or the choices itself is very hard. There are times when you think that the choices are the answers. Every choices are answers, but yet you need to pick the best one. Now here we have the table for the multiple choice. It is an interrogative statement or a direct question that ends in a question mark. It is purposely for objective type, no? It starts with when, what, which, where. You need to identify, remember, recalling all of the objective answers, no? For example, history, what is the name, which part, uh, uh, when, that questions, it is the option to be selected is the correct answer or best answer only. Now, options, it is the 3 to 5 plausible alternatives from which to select the correct option. And now, we have here another example. Direct questions from best answer version. What form of government is ruled by a prime minister? Below, there are choices: monarchy, parliamentary, presidential, federal. Now, due to the statement, the government is ruled by a prime minister. That is the question asked. So you must find the appropriate and correct answer to which government is ruled by prime minister. Now this question can be rearranged again into what form of government is ruled by a president. Now the answer is another different, but yet you can use the same choices. So that's another example for multiple choice. Next, now we have here the distractors. All distractors should appear plausible to uninformed test takers. Randomly assign correct answer to alternative positions. We must avoid using all of the above or none of the above as distractors because distractors serve as the you need to randomly assign correct answer to the alternative positions. Not only staying or stating the answers must be at the letter here, letter A, letter B, letter C, but also different randomly putting the correct answer. And also, as a future educator, we must avoid using all of the above or none of the above because most of the students will think of it as the correct answer already. And we must use that slot for another answer and another alternative. And that would be all my part. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Ibrahim Caberon, and I will be discussing the matching type test. First, what is matching type? Matching type it consists of two parallel lists of words or phrases the students are tasked to pair. The first list, which is to be matched, is referred to as premises, while the other list from which to choose based on a kind of association is the options. Now, as you can see, we have the matching type item structure. On the left side is we have the list of premises, words or phrases to be matched or associated with an appropriate word. It is the column A or the number of items. The guidelines here is dapat dili musobra og 8 items ang premises or the number of items para to avoid confusion and time consuming. And on the right side is we have the list of responses. Homogeneous alternatives or options from which to select what will match the premises. Here sa column B is mag-pick ka og kining um, given given answers and i-match nimo siya sa column A. And here, ang guidelines diriya is dapat mas daghan ang list of responses kaysa sa list of premises in order to give challenges para sa mga students nga mag-answer sa matching type test. And always remember that when creating a matching type test, dapat ang imuhang list of responses is homogeneous, connected sa list of premises para to avoid confusion sa mga students. And always remember when creating a list of responses, dapat ang list of responses is mas daghan kaysa sa list of premises. That's all from my report.
Good day, everyone. I am Sherlyn Sigipwit, and I'm going to report the performance type. The performance type test is focusing on assigning a student ability to apply knowledge and skills in real life or stimulated situation. Instead of applying recalling facts, student how they can know or what they can do with what they learned. And for example of this is the conducting a science experiment of how to demonstrate understanding and science of the science method. And there is a three types of performance type. A identification, second is stimulation, and third is work. Now let's go to the identification. Now this is the first part of performance type, the identification. Identification is a type of performance requires student to recognize and name specific object or parts. It's measure their ability to identify and level components accurately. Like for example of this is leveling up major human bones of our skeleton or leveling a part of the plants. And the purpose of identification is to ensure that student can correctly named and recognize this essential component of which foundations and higher level tasks. The second type of performance is the stimulation performance. This is a type where the student can act out or stimulate a task or real life scenario or situation. It helps teacher to evaluate practical skills and behaviors that what are best shown through action rather than written tasks. For example of this is role play or customer service scenarios in English class, or demonstrating a first aid techniques during health class. Stimulation matters helps teacher access making decision making, problem solving, and social interaction skills or competencies essential in real world success for the student. And the last type of performance type is the work sample. The work sample involves students submitting a product or subject that they created and directly measure their ability to apply what they learned to produce something that tangible. For example of this is submitting a handmade project from the subject that they want to pass their project and the purpose of the work sample is to evaluate student ability to integrate learning and into a real product or outcome that shows a creativity and efforts and understanding of the student of what they do, of what or the project they passed. And for the conclusion of our topic, selecting or choosing the design or the right design items is essential for effective assessment. Always remember that assessment method should match the learning outcomes and ensure a peer accurate evaluation to each student and abilities. And that's all for our report. Thank you.